The stage was set for what should have been a routine conversation, a friendly interview, a chance for a global star to reconnect with her audience. But within 26 minutes, the warmth of a daytime television set would become the backdrop for one of the most uncomfortable, revealing, and devastatingly honest moments ever captured on camera. What Kelly Clarkson asked was simple. What Meghan Markle couldn't answer would expose everything. The Kelly Clarkson show studio hummed with its usual pre-taping electricity. The band ran through warm-up melodies, their instruments bouncing off the walls of a set designed to feel like a comfortable living room. The audience, freshly seated, buzzed with anticipation. And Kelly herself, the American Idol who had transformed into America's most beloved talk show host, moved backstage with the kind of effervescent energy that made her staff both adore and exhaust themselves trying to match. It was her final season. 7 years of conversations, laughter, and genuine human connection. And today, she was about to meet a guest who had been on her bucket list since day one. Meghan Markle arrived with an entourage that felt substantial for a daytime interview. Publicist, assistant, someone clutching an iPad loaded with carefully curated talking points. The Duchess walked across the backstage area with a smile that was technically perfect, practiced, symmetrical, camera-ready. But somehow it never quite reached her eyes. It didn't warm the space around her. When she stepped onto the set, her hug with Kelly was brief, professional, a choreographed greeting devoid of spontaneity. "Meghan, welcome," Kelly said, her voice warm and open. "I'm so excited you're here. Thank you for having me, Kelly." 3 words. Pleasant. Measured. No returning of Kelly's enthusiastic energy. "So, this is my last season," Kelly continued. "Can you believe it? 7 years. And I've always wanted to have you on. So this feels special." "It does feel special." The words hung in the air. Pleasant but not warm. Acceptable but not engaging. The first cracks in what would become a complete collapse. Kelly leaned forward, her natural warmth undiminished. "Let's dive in. You just got back from Australia, the wellness retreat, big event. How was it?" "It was meaningful. Connecting with women. Building community." "That sounds amazing," Kelly said, and there was genuine curiosity in her voice. "But I heard there was some controversy. The price point. Some people saying it was steep." Something flickered across Meghan's face. A micro-expression. Irritation, quickly masked by a professional smile. "Value is subjective," Meghan replied. "What we offered was transformative." $3,000, though, Kelly pressed gently. "That's a lot for most people. What made it worth that?" "The experience. The connection. The intentionality we brought to every moment." "But you left partway through to attend a rugby match." Some attendees were apparently surprised by that. Meghan's posture stiffened. The smile remained, but her spine straightened almost imperceptibly. "I was present for the significant portions." "Which portions were significant?" Kelly asked, her tone still curious, still friendly. "Because when people pay that much specifically for access, they want to know they're getting what they paid for." Meghan's eyes narrowed. "I don't think I need to justify my schedule to anyone." Kelly's eyebrows rose slightly. "I'm not asking you to justify. I'm asking you to explain. There's a difference. People were curious about the retreat. This is a chance to tell them about it. I've told them it was meaningful. It was transformative. I don't know what else you want." "Maybe a story," Kelly offered. "Something specific that happened. When I talk about my shows, I tell people about specific moments. The time someone proposed in the audience. The time I forgot the lyrics to my own song. Stories make things real." Meghan's smile tightened at the edges. "My stories are my own to share when and how I choose." The audience had gone quiet. This wasn't the warm, comfortable energy they'd expected. Something was shifting in the room. A tension that hadn't been there before. Kelly, ever the professional, pivoted. "Okay, let's try something else. The movie. Close personal friends. You're acting again. What was that like?" "It was authentic. Playing myself felt genuine. But you were amazing on Suits, Kelly said. 7 seasons. That was playing a character. What makes playing yourself more genuine? The context is different. How specifically? Meghan's jaw tightened. I'm in control of the narrative now. Kelly tilted her head, genuinely puzzled. But it's someone else's movie, someone else's script, someone else's direction. How are you in control of anything? I had input into playing yourself. That seems like it should be automatic. The temperature in the room dropped. Meghan's eyes sharpened. You're being deliberately obtuse. Kelly blinked, but her voice remained calm. I'm asking for clarification. That's what interviews are. You say something, I ask what you mean, you explain. That's the deal. The deal also includes basic respect. I've been nothing but respectful, Kelly said, and for the first time, a hint of steel entered her voice. I've asked about your retreat, your movie, things you came here to promote. If those questions feel disrespectful, maybe examine what you're defending. The audience held its breath. Kelly continued, her tone shifting, still friendly, but now carrying a quiet persistence. Let's talk about the brand. As ever, jams, candles, the whole lifestyle thing. Netflix stepped back as a partner recently. What happened there? Meghan's expression went flat. Business arrangements evolve. That's what everyone says when things don't work out, Kelly said. What actually happened? Strategic repositioning. Whose strategy? Because from the outside, it looks like Netflix decided the investment wasn't paying off. Meghan's eyes flashed. You're not in a position to assess Netflix's internal decisions. I'm in a position to read the news, Kelly replied evenly. First look deal instead of full production. Show not renewed. Brand partnership ending. The pattern is pretty clear. The pattern is forward momentum. Toward what? Kelly asked. What's the next project? What's actually in development? Meghan paused. The pause stretched 1 second, 2 seconds, 3. And in that silence, the audience could feel the absence of an answer. Announcements happen when they're ready. You've been with Netflix for 5 years, Kelly said. The output has been limited. At what point does announcements coming become? There aren't any announcements. I don't think you understand how development works. Kelly laughed, but there was no warmth in it now. I've been in entertainment since I was 20. I've made albums. I've done movies. I've hosted this show for 7 years. I understand development. I also understand when someone doesn't have anything in development and is hoping no one notices. Meghan's face flushed. That's speculation. Then correct me, Kelly said. Name the next project. Silence. The air in the studio grew thick. The silence speaks for itself, Kelly said quietly. And then she asked the question that would change everything. How's Harry? Meghan's entire body went rigid. Her hands, which had been resting on her lap, clenched into fists. I prefer not to discuss my husband. At all. This interview is about me. But you're a team, Kelly said. Harry and Meghan. Everything's joint. Foundation. Netflix. Brand. Making him off-limits removes half the context. I have my own identity. You do, Kelly agreed. But you've spent years building a joint identity. Now you want separation. That's fine. But I want to be seen as a complete person. I see you as a complete person, Kelly said. I'm asking how your husband is doing. That's what friends ask each other. How's Harry? Meghan's voice was clipped. He's focused on his work. That's not an answer. I asked how he is. You told me what he's doing. His well-being is tied to his purpose. Mine is tied to my kids, my music, my friends, and about 100 other things, Kelly countered. Well-being is complicated. Give me something real. Meghan shifted in her seat. There are rumors I should address. What rumors? The divorce speculation. Kelly blinked. I didn't ask about divorce, but that's what people are really asking. Isn't it? That's what you're hearing. I asked how he is. A friendly question. You heard divorce. That says something about where your head is. The words landed like a slap. Kelly leaned forward, her voice soft but carrying a new, unmistakable edge. You know what I've noticed? I've done this show for 7 years. I've talked to people going through divorces, people with sick kids, people who lost their parents. Really hard stuff. Almost everyone can find a moment of connection. A laugh, something real. She paused, letting the silence build. What I've gotten from you is different. Every question is blocked. Every topic is deflected. I've asked about your retreat, your movie, your brand, your husband, basic stuff, friendly stuff. You've treated each one like I'm trying to hurt you. Meghan's eyes blazed. Because I know where this goes. Where does it go? Kelly asked.
I'm Kelly Clarkson.
I got famous singing about being already gone. I've been through a public divorce. I've struggled with my weight on camera. I'm about as non-threatening as it gets. Where exactly do you think I'm trying to take you? You're trying to extract something. I'm trying to have a conversation. That's it. Questions and answers and maybe some laughs. That's all this was supposed to be. Your questions have been hostile. Kelly's voice was calm. Name one hostile question. Specifically, which one was hostile? Meghan's mouth opened, closed. You can't, Kelly said, because there wasn't one. How's Harry? Isn't hostile. Tell me about your movie isn't hostile. What happened with Netflix? Isn't hostile. Those are basic questions any interviewer would ask. You've treated each one like an attack. She paused, and something in her expression shifted. The warmth was gone now, replaced by something more complicated. Concern, perhaps, or sadness. Let me try one more thing, Kelly said. Forget the brand. Forget Netflix. Forget Harry. What makes you happy right now? In your life? What brings you genuine joy? Meghan seemed caught off guard by the simplicity of the question. Purpose, she said. Meaningful work. That's not joy, Kelly said quietly. That's satisfaction. I'm asking what makes you happy. Like, actually light up. Can't stop smiling, happy? My children. Great, Kelly said. Tell me something funny they did recently. Something that made you laugh. Silence. You can't think of anything, Kelly observed. Our family time is private. I'm not asking for their social security numbers, Kelly said. I'm asking for a cute kid story. Every parent has one. My kids say the wildest stuff. Just yesterday, my daughter asked why clouds don't fall down. I didn't have an answer. It was hilarious. Our experiences are different. Kids are kids, Kelly pressed. They say funny things. They do funny things. What did Archie or Lily do recently that made you smile? More silence. The studio felt like it was shrinking. Meghan, Kelly said gently. You can't tell me a single thing that makes you happy. Not your work, not your husband, not your kids. I've been asking for 20 minutes. Nothing. She set down her notes. The gesture was deliberate, final. I've told you purpose, meaning those are concepts, Kelly continued. I'm asking about your actual life, your actual days. Something that happened that made you feel joy. And you can't give me one example. Kelly looked at Meghan with something that wasn't hostility. It was closer to sadness. Deep, genuine sadness. I've been doing this show for 7 years. This is my last season. I've talked to hundreds of people. Famous people, regular people, people going through the worst moments of their lives. Almost everyone could find some joy to share. Some moment of real happiness. She paused, letting the weight of her words settle. What I'm seeing in front of me is someone who can't do that. And I don't say that to be mean. I say it because it's concerning. You've built this whole public image around authenticity and wellness and meaningful living. But when I ask what actually makes you happy, you can't answer. That's not authenticity. That's emptiness dressed up in nice language. Meghan stood up. Her chair scraped against the floor. I think we're done. I think we've been done for a while, Kelly replied, her voice steady. You arrived defended. You stayed defended. Every question was treated like a trap. Every attempt to connect was blocked. I'm known for connecting with literally everyone. You made it impossible. Because your questions were inappropriate. My questions were the same ones I ask everyone, Kelly said. What makes you happy? Tell me about your kids. How's your husband? Those are the friendliest questions imaginable. You couldn't engage with any of them. Meghan grabbed her purse. You're just like everyone else. Everyone else being who? Kelly asked. Every interviewer who's asked you basic questions? Every host who's tried to have a genuine conversation? If we're all the same, maybe the common factor isn't us. The common factor is media persecution. I'm not media persecution, Kelly said, her voice rising slightly.
I'm Kelly Clarkson.
I won American Idol. I sing songs about strong women. I've been through my own public struggles and talked about them openly. I'm about as sympathetic as it gets. And you couldn't connect with me for even 5 minutes. I connected. You performed, Kelly said. There's a difference. Connection means actually sharing something, letting someone see you, being present instead of defended. You've done none of that. You've given me press releases and buzzwords and hostility. Meghan moved toward the exit. She paused at the edge of the stage and turned back. History will vindicate me. Kelly shook her head slowly. Maybe history will also remember that you couldn't handle the Kelly Clarkson show. Not 60 Minutes. Not a hostile investigation. A daytime talk show where we sing songs and talk about feelings. And you walked out because I asked what makes you happy. Meghan left the stage. Her footsteps echoed in the stunned silence. The audience sat frozen. The band didn't know whether to play. The crew stood motionless behind their cameras. And Kelly sat alone for a long moment, her hands clasped on the desk, her face a mixture of exhaustion and disbelief. Then she turned to face the camera. Well, she said, that just happened. She took a breath, steadying herself. I want to be honest with y'all about what you just saw, because in 7 years of this show, I've never experienced anything like it. She paused, collecting her thoughts. I asked about her retreat. I asked about her movie. I asked about her brand. I asked how her husband is doing. I asked what makes her happy. Those are the most basic questions I could possibly ask. Every other guest manages to answer them. Most people actually enjoy answering them because it lets them share something real. Her voice caught slightly. She blinked rapidly. She couldn't do any of it. Everything was blocked, protected, defended. And when I asked, genuinely asked what brings her joy, she couldn't answer, couldn't name one thing. Not her kids, not her husband, not her work. Nothing specific. Nothing real. She wiped her eye quickly. I've been through a lot publicly. My divorce. My struggles. My whole life has been on display since I was 20 years old. And you know what gets me through? Joy. Actual joy. My kids making me laugh. Singing songs that mean something. Connecting with people. Real human connection. Kelly looked directly into the camera. Meghan, if you're watching, and your team will be, I want to say this as someone who genuinely wanted to connect with you. Whatever happened to make you this defended, this protected, this unable to share anything real, I'm sorry. That sounds like a painful way to live. Always waiting for the attack. Always ready for the trap. Never able to just be present. She paused. But I'm also going to be honest. I can't help you if you won't let me in. Nobody can. You came here wanting positive coverage, but you wouldn't give me anything positive to cover. You wanted to be seen as authentic, but you wouldn't share anything authentic. You wanted connection, but you blocked every attempt I made. Her voice hardened just slightly. That's not my failure. That's yours. And until you address it, every interview is going to end exactly like this one did. She straightened up, wiping her eyes one more time. When we come back, we're going to have some actual fun, because that's what this show is supposed to be. And I refuse to let one guest who forgot how to feel joy ruin it for everyone. The footage aired that afternoon. The show made no cuts. The raw, unedited interview played in its entirety, and within hours, the clips were everywhere. What makes you happy? Purpose. Meaningful work. That's not joy. That's satisfaction. Tell me a cute story about your kids. Our family time is private. I asked how he's doing. You heard divorce. You couldn't handle the Kelly Clarkson show. A daytime talk show where we sing songs and talk about feelings. That's not authenticity. That's emptiness dressed up in nice language. The internet erupted. Comment sections divided. Meghan's team released a statement calling the interview hostile from inception, designed to embarrass rather than illuminate. Kelly addressed it the following day, her voice steady but weary. Hostile? She said. I asked what makes her happy. I asked for a cute kid story. I asked how her husband is doing. Those are the friendliest questions I know how to ask. She couldn't answer any of them. That's not my hostility. That's her walls. She paused. I've interviewed people going through real crises, real pain, real difficulties. Almost all of them could find some joy to share, some moment of light. She couldn't. And when someone who preaches wellness and authenticity can't describe their own happiness, that tells you everything about the gap between the brand and the reality. For Kelly Clarkson, the interview became an unexpected coda to her final season, proof that even the warmest host can't reach someone who refuses to be reached. For Meghan Markle, it was another catastrophic appearance, another platform that refused to provide unconditional validation, another interviewer who didn't understand. But for the millions who watched, something else emerged. The contrast was stark. Kelly, open, warm, genuinely curious. Meghan, defended, suspicious, unable to access or describe her own joy. Kelly had asked the simplest question in the world. What makes you happy? Meghan couldn't answer. And in that silence, everything anyone needed to know about who she'd become was revealed. Some interviews build connection. Others expose its absence. Kelly had come with open arms. Meghan had come with walls. And by the time the credits rolled, everyone watching knew exactly which one of them had been real. And it wasn't the Duchess. 26 minutes. One simple question. No answer. What do you think? Was Kelly right to push? Or should she have let it go? If you're into these breakdowns, subscribe. Join a community that doesn't miss moments like this. Turn on notifications so YouTube actually shows you what we post. Leave a like if you made it to the end. Share this with someone who needs to see the full story. More truth, more moments, more stories that matter. We're building something,